afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Backstory with Tori Bailey. Thank you for joining me again tonight. And I'm just glad that we were able to make it as scheduled planned. You know, sometimes things just happen, and the best intentions of all of us just sometimes doesn't happen the way we want them to. But the good Lord was willing, and the creek didn't rise this week, so we're here. And I have a drop-in visitor today. And let me see if I can get him over in the camera range. He is just desperate for a little bit of attention. And let me see. Zane, hey, can you say hey to the people on the camera? Say hey, Zane. Say hey, everybody. Zane is our alpha male. He's the newest addition to our family, and he is a rescue. My husband went and picked him out at the Walton County Animal Shelter. And we looked at that cute, adorable picture of his with the cotton candy pink nose, and I thought, what a sweet little angel. I didn't see the devil in his eyes, but that's okay. He definitely keeps things lively for us around here at the house. And hold on, Zane, I think you got a claw caught, baby doll. There you go. Say hey to everybody. He really doesn't like to be held, so I'm really surprised he's letting me hold him as long as he is. But Zane is our protector. He growls whenever anybody comes up in our driveway to let us know that there's somebody on the property, and I literally have to tell him to stop growling. You would think he's a small dog behind us. Yeah, you're being a little rambunctious tonight, aren't you there, sweetie pie? But anyway, yeah, if Satan would come and knock on our door, Zane would open it and say, I'm Zane, who are you? Yes, you would, sweetie. I don't think the people can see you. You're kind of a little bit below the camera range. Yes, you are. But he's a good kid. And we're really thankful that we were able to add him to our family. And like I said, we did rescue him from the Walton County Animal Shelter. All of our cats are rescues. Yes, they are. Yes. Well, we've got a lot of great things in store for you guys tonight. A little bit on a sad note, just want to acknowledge the passing of John Glenn today. What an American icon. He embodies courage and being fearless and willing to go and be adventurous to explore and open new frontiers for all of us. What he did for us as Americans and for the space program and for flight, you know, it was an awesome gift too that he gave us. And so just kind of want to acknowledge the passing of John Glenn. And also, there's this lovely little gallery up in Braselton, Georgia called the Braselton Gallery. My books have been there for quite some time. If you guys are looking for that unique Christmas gift that's handmade and that kind of, you know, puts a little extra sparkle underneath your Christmas tree for that special person, definitely go by and visit Braselton Gallery up in Braselton, Georgia. Unfortunately, after December the 23rd, after being open for 4 years, Braselton Gallery will be closing its doors. And it has serviced over 100 artisans during the 4 years that the doors have been open. And there's a lot of beautiful, talented stuff in the Braselton Gallery. And definitely hop over to their Facebook page. You can visit their photo gallery and just see some of the great works of art that they have. They have everything from jewelry to paintings to pottery, hand-carved turned pens, wooden pens, just a lot of great gifts if you're looking for that special, unique gift for that hard-to-find person on your Christmas list. And talking about gifts, you know, Christmas is a great time for giving gifts and getting to see the surprise on the person's face when they open that gift and see that special item that you've selected for them. And I kind of want to talk about a special gift that I was given, and that's called the gift of reading. And I have to thank my mom for that gift, because my mom was always a reader, and she noticed early on in my education years, about middle school, that I was having some difficulty in my reading classes. So she, you know, my mom was one of those mamas that went down to the schoolhouse and talked to your teacher when you wasn't doing good. Well, she did that. And I had Miss McLaren. And Miss McLaren says, well, Tori's problem, I'm sorry, I also go by Vicky sometimes, and my mama calls me Vicky, said, you know, her problem is her reading comprehension. You know, she doesn't comprehend what she reads. So Miss McLaren sent my reading book home with Mama. And so Mama sat down and started working with me on my reading. And one summer, she challenged me. I was probably preteen. And she says, if you will read so many books, I will give you $1 for each book that you read. And she said an amount. I can't remember what the amount was. So I said, okay. And she didn't set any limits on what I could read. She just said, just read some books. I said, all right. Well, about that time, my Aunt Claudia showed up with 2 grocery bags. That's back when you used to get paper bags. Anyway, she showed up with 2 grocery bags full of Harlequin romances. And let me tell you, that's when I fell in love with reading, was in between the pages of those Harlequin romances. So sure enough, I met my mama's challenge and fell in love with the gift of reading. And so I really have to thank my mom and my Aunt Claudia both for giving me that gift. And another thing my mom always did to encourage us with reading is, you know, I've mentioned before, I grew up in Washington, Georgia. And that is the home to the Mary Willis Library. And if you guys are ever through Wilkes County or Washington, Georgia, it's definitely worth the time to go and see the library. The architectural structure is a Romanesque style. And take time to admire the beautiful stained glass windows, because those windows were actually done by Tiffany. So they're very beautiful windows. And but I can remember as a small child walking up that library, and it has kind of a rounded opening and those 2 heavy wood doors with the black iron accents on it. You know, it's kind of a little bit foreboding for a small child. You know, you're kind of like, do I really want to go in this thing? And then you walked in the interior, and the interior was really dark. And I can remember, and I don't know why, in Washington, Georgia, there was this huge moose head that hung up on the wall. And I can just remember looking at that thing and going, if it speaks or moves, I'm gone. I don't care how much Mama wants to look at books, I'm out of here. But she always took us to the library, and she always enrolled us every summer in the summer reading program. So she was always trying to encourage us to get into books and reading. And I have to say that I'm very thankful for that, because it really helped expand a lot of my worlds for me, because I got to travel. I mean, even though I was living in Washington, Georgia, I got to travel to places like Australia, Carmel, California. I got to go through the time period of the French Revolution, the American Revolution. I enjoyed anything with history. I enjoyed it. You know, I got to travel through the pages of the books. So, Mom, if you're watching, thank you very much for giving me that gift. That was a special gift, which is the gift of reading. And that leads me into the next thing that I wanted to share with you guys today is, since this is Christmas time, and it is a time of giving, about 2 years ago, Barbara Barth, she's an author up in the Decatur area, had this wonderful idea that came back from an inspiration of looking at a stock photo picture of a Christmas teacup being held in the palm of a hand. And she says, that looks like a good cover for a book. I think I'm going to title that book A Cup for Christmas. And so she sent out this mass email to all the writer friends that she knew, and she says, I want to put together this ebook called A Cup for Christmas. If you want to contribute a short story, just send it to me. So sure enough, within about a month and a half, she compiled this book, and it is called A Cup of Christmas. It's only available on Amazon as an ebook. But the gift of this book is not the first author makes anything off of the sales of the proceeds of this book. 100% of the proceeds and the sales of the book goes to a charity called First Book. And First Book is a charity that puts books in the hands of children, and especially children that don't have the opportunities to get to go visit a public library. or have the opportunities, or have the gift of having people in the family like my mom and my Aunt Claudia was for me in teaching and instilling the love of books. So I was very proud to be able to be a part of that project. And the short story I contributed was the year that Daddy shot the Christmas tree. And yes, there's a story, a backstory to the story of the year that Daddy shot the Christmas tree. And the backstory that is only in the South can you say that my daddy shot the Christmas tree. And my dad did. And it was one Christmas. My dad was a truck driver, so he was gone a lot on the road. And my brother, who is hearing impaired, was gone a lot during the school year attending the Georgia School for the Deaf up in Cave Springs, Georgia. So we were all, it was one of those rare weekends when we were all together right before Christmas. And one of the things that my family always did on Sunday afternoons to be together, and especially before the age of technology hit, and we all can commiserate with how it's hard to have a conversation with somebody who's not looking at you anymore because they're always looking at some type of electronic device. But my folks, after church and after Sunday dinner, we would sometimes just go walking through the woods because we grew up in the country. We grew up in the rural part of Wilkes County. And Daddy usually would take his little rifle with him and, squirrel hunting rifle just in case we scared up a squirrel or two. And it was during deer season, so he wanted to go check on his deer stand. And while we were walking along and enjoying the Sunday afternoon together as a family, tromping through the woods, the topic came up that we had not gotten a Christmas tree. And it has always been tradition in our household that we had a cedar tree, and usually it was one that Dad usually found on the side of the road and stopped and cut it down, or we just usually would drive the dirt roads until we found our good Christmas tree. Well, by that time we came up in an opening and there were some cedar trees, and Dad saw a cedar tree and he was like, well, this one will work. But he didn't bring a saw with him, so he used his rifle to actually to shoot the base of the tree until he could get it to where he could use his pocket knife to finish cutting through the trunk of the tree. So that is how the inspiration of the story, the year Daddy shot the Christmas tree, came about. And it's just a good Southern tale. I mean, like I said, it's only in the South can you say your dad shot the Christmas tree one year. And there was no alcohol involved. But anyway, definitely visit Amazon and download a copy of A Cup of Christmas to help, the charity First Book Out, so we can give the gift of reading to a child this year. And while you download a copy, just get an extra one to share with a friend. And the short stories in there are timeless. I mean, even though the book's been out for a while, I mean, the stories are timeless for this time of the year. And it helps embody the spirit of Christmas and the spirit of giving. So definitely, like I said, just go by Amazon. Hey, you came back, didn't you, sweetie? Zane just dropped back in. Definitely go by Amazon and check out A Cup of Christmas. And so that's all I've got for you guys this week for the backstory with Tori Bailey. Just remember to drop by and visit my website. And don't forget you can pre-order Love Made from Scratch for the month of December for $12.95 and free shipping. Now the book's not going to be available until February the 14th, but just take advantage of the Christmas promotion that we have. And we're going to eventually move Backstory with Tori Bailey over to my author page, which is Tori Bailey Inc. So if you haven't already liked my author page, Tori Bailey Inc. on Facebook, definitely go on over there and go ahead and like that page. Again, thank you very much for tuning in. And as my mama always said, if the good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, hopefully I'll see you guys next Thursday at 8 p.m. And maybe another one of my kitty cats will drop in and say hey to y'all. God bless and have a good night.